Hello, I'm Ramon and welcome back to All Skill RC. Today we are working on some RC car storage solutions. I have way too many cars and I know a lot of you guys are in the same boat as I am. Just ran out of places to put them. So I bought some different racks. I bought a couple, two different size Cosworth racks, which I'll do in a different video. And this rack right here is for 1/16 scale cars, which I bought from eBay from a seller called AJCMODS. And this is the STACKZ little 5-tier shelf that they have. Is it 5-tier? Yeah, 5-tier. This is the 5-tier shelf. This is also sold as a 3 shelf. The 5-tier shelf is $45 and the 3-tier I believe is $35. Now the more you buy, the cheaper it is. I bought 3 of these and the price when you buy 3 of them is $38. So that's a $7 savings right there. So I ended up buying 3 of them because I figured I have a lot of cars. Most of my smaller cars aren't even out yet, except for my slot cars, which we'll have to do a whole nother segment on that. Like I said, this is for 1/16 scale and it holds 5 cars, and you get the plastic pieces are 3D printed pieces. Okay, so you get the base, the center section. This is the rod, 2 rods I have to plug into this one, so this is the center section, and you could tell that by the angled part in the back, and 3 other shelves. You also get 4 carbon fiber rods pre-cut, so you don't have to cut this yourself. And this is held together with grub screws, and there's 2 plastic caps that go on the top, and they give you a couple wood or drywall screws if you want to mount it down to something so that it doesn't fall over. As long as you don't go too heavy, you should be fine. Let's cut over to the build section of the video. Okay, so here's how the AJCMODS STACKZ 5-tier RC car rack for 1/16 scale goes together. It's for 1/16 scale cars or even smaller, but basically 2 rods go on there. So this is the 5-tier. It uses these little grub screws to hold everything in place. Kind of hard to see, but it uses these little grub screws. They're tiny, and basically, I know that's flush because it's on the table, but they just screw on the back. Now this is a 3D printed product, but the rods, the stand-up rods, are carbon fiber. I think you have a choice of colors with this one. Now there are no holes. There are no holes in the carbon fiber, so I would just recommend screwing it until it gets snug. I wouldn't try to put it through. I'm not sure, you probably end up cracking it or damaging it. But this is one of my biggest problems. I have a ton of cars. But it's hard to, they end up staying in your boxes because I have nowhere to display them. I'm literally out of space. I bought some of these AJCMODS racks with a Z. I bought some of these stands just to be able to have more cars on display. I have cars. I'm still rearranging the shelves behind me. I have more cars going on the shelves behind me. But I was just trying to. It's like, how do you choose? I have a lot. Okay, that feels good. All right, so this one is more likely going to go in the middle. And this one here has a different section on the back. You see how it's bigger? And that's because there's going to be a second set of rods that's going to plug into the top of this. So you want to only bring this one down about halfway. And I wish they would have put a stopper inside, but there is none. But I can put one of the grub screws in the top hole just so I can guide it a little better, because it's kind of hard to tell where you should stop and start with where your rods should stop and start. So I'm going to put one in the top hole. I want to leave a good amount of space so that when I insert this top rod, it is not like barely in, or the screw barely grabs on it. I actually bought 3 of these. I figured I'd use them. I figured I'd find use for them, so figured I'd just buy them. Okay, that feels strong. And see, this is what I mean. See, this goes in. And I wanted to get a good bite on this carbon fiber rod. I didn't want to just get the little edge and push on it, and that's why I wanted to stop it with the other rod. And look at that, they're both same height. These are taller than I thought. I mean, like, you could even just, they sell them shorter with less tiers. I just figured I have a lot of cars, so I would use them. So I went for the taller one. But you can, depending on how tall the cars you're running are, you can set up less tiers, or this is a good size, like for a desk or whatever. There's black caps that go on the top of the carbon fiber rods, just so it's not an open hole. If you guys are wondering why I'm just using a bit and no handle, it's only you're only screwing into plastic. How much torque do you actually need? You end up using a nut driver, you end up just stripping everything out or breaking your carbon fiber. So I figured this is enough. Okay, now let's trying to figure out the center of this. So from the bottom one to the top one is about 9 inches, so right about 4.5 inches. Yeah, that's about it. And you could adjust these based on the height of your cars. I'll make sure I put the link in the description for this AJCMODS little racks. I am not affiliated with AJCMODS, but I've gotten things from them before. A lot of their stuff is 3D printed. It's good stuff though, good quality, so I can't complain. Fast service, and I've messaged them before, and questions they get back to me. Okay, so here's the 5-tier rack assembled. Now they do sell a 3-tier, which is up to here. It's slightly cheaper, but that's the 5-tier rack assembled. The assembled height is 20 inches. And let's see what cars it can hold. I don't even know what scale this is, but there's an Arlo, I think, a 1/14 scale on there. I don't know if I would put a whole lot of those, but at the bottom, that's perfect for a good weight. And then you can put smaller ones above that. And I don't have a lot of my small stuff out because I haven't had nowhere to put them, but that is I think that's a 1/14 scale also. And it'll hold it. And with these, like if you're putting bigger cars on there, you could adjust so it gives it more clearance. But it'll hold that. Here's smaller crawlers. And this is where you want to adjust how tall they are, because then they start riding on top of each other. So you could make it with less shelves or more shelves or whatever. You can stack whatever. Whoa! See these little 24th scale crawlers? Are they 24th scale? Yeah, these little 24th scale crawlers. The suspension arms underneath make it sit at an angle, so. But let's see this. But yeah, look, there's the AJCMODS STACKZ 5-tier shelf with 5 cars on it. Probably none of them the scale it was made for, but there's 5 cars on the rack. It's not bad. It'll do the job. In a pinch, if you're looking for a little display thing, a little desktop or whatever, it'll work perfectly. Next, I'll be making a video on the Cosworks rack. I bought the 2 different sizes of the Cosworks racks, and I'll be making a video on them. But I will make sure I put the link in the description to these racks. These are 3D printed parts with carbon fiber rods holding it together. When I saw that they were 3D printed, I was gonna look up the pieces and 3D print them myself, but by the time you 3D print the pieces and then get the rods and the hardware and everything. You know what? It was for the cost. To me, it was just less headache just buying everything already. Okay, so links will be in the description. I am not affiliated with AJCMODS. I purchased from them in the past and never had an issue. They are very responsive if you email them. They're a trusted vendor on eBay. So, you know, if you guys need a small desktop shelf or something, this is a good candidate. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye.